the area. They thought what they heard were gunshots. There are medics here now. At least one fire truck and a bunch of police have cleared the festival. It's the Bite of Seattle festival here in Seattle, which had 3 days of great food and amazing bands, and it was all free, the entry to the festival. And as you can see behind me, there's the Bite of Seattle Fischer music stage, where we were watching a band called Mid-Pack, when all of a sudden we heard what sounded like pops, and then the crowd just started running. Luckily, hopefully that person that is injured out there isn't somebody that got trampled or something, but so I can't verify that there were any gunshots, except that people thought they heard them and they cleared the area. I can verify right now, this is Mark Taylor-Canfield in Seattle at Seattle Center, I can verify that there are medics here and at least one person who's being attended to medically. Other than that, the police have announced that the festival is over and they're asking everyone to leave. But they did tell some, I think they also said to some of the vendors here, stay in your booths or something. So I don't know what's going on. I cannot give you any more details than that. As I said, I don't have my press credentials with me, so it would be very difficult for me to stay here, I think, after being given this order. But I can try to get up here a little bit closer and see what's going on. There doesn't seem to be a lot of panic happening at the moment. Oh, but they are putting up police tape right in front of me over here. Let's see if I can turn this around. There's the police tape, and they are ushering people out. Okay, we're leaving the battle scene here. I don't know what just happened.
Go this way. Yes, all of you guys can go that way. Thank you.
So they're directing us out of the south end of Seattle Center. This really sucks because, it makes, if people feel unsafe to go to public events, and then they're going to have high security next time, and that'll be a drag. So that's too bad. People were having a great time. This is Mark Taylor-Canfield in Seattle at Seattle Center, where I have no idea what that noise is. It seems like a loudspeaker of some kind making an announcement, but I could not understand any of it. Anyway, this is a very tense moment. Everybody started running. These people heard some kind of sounds, and now Seattle Center is emptying very quickly. So I had to get out of here so fast that I left something behind. Luckily, my friends grabbed it, and we can go reclaim that because they're ready for me over by the Armory. So I have no clear indication of any information to share with the media or any of my subscribers or people on this channel, because I was here and the band called Mid-Pack was playing. And I cannot understand whatever that public service announcement is. It just sounds like distortion. Very strange. Oh, so looks like we have another fire truck coming through here. These are people leaving Seattle Center right now. Oh. Okay, so we have the police are trying to clear people out of here, and police cars are here. This is in Seattle, at Seattle Center right now. We are live. Mark Taylor-Canfield, NPC Media channel, and yeah, so police cars are showing up. We've just been told that another emergency medical or another emergency vehicle is coming through over here, so they're trying to clear people so they can get through. We're at the Bite of Seattle, which is a public festival that happens every year in Seattle with dozens of food trucks and vendors and amazing food, but also a lot of bands that play here. And we were watching a band called Mid-Pack perform on the Fischer Pavillion stage. And we do have an ambulance coming through currently too. But I can't tell you who the victims are or what the nature of the injuries are. So we are waiting to find out. There goes the aid car now, and then there's a fire truck and a bunch of police as well. And we are right here at Seattle Center on the corner on Sueberg Court North, which is named after the famous Seattle Storm women's national basketball team champion. So yeah, they were making some kind of announcements. I did hear the announcements about, you know, clearing the Seattle Center, so they are kicking people out of the area. But I could not tell what the public service announcements were saying because it was just really distorted, and I could not tell. I know I got some of it on this video, but I cannot tell what they were saying or what it was telling people. I just know that the police department is here. They swept the area and pushed people out. They set up a police line down by the Fischer Pavillion stage here at Bite of Seattle in Seattle. Of course, where else would it be? I was here enjoying the music. We saw Mid-Pack. It was a psychedelic rock band. All of their stuff is very funky, though, I have to say, but they were performing. Also, what was coming up next was actually King Youngblood, and I believe the singer, is it Cameron, is related to the Neville Brothers. I think they actually performed with them not too long ago. So we were looking forward to that. That was supposed to be on the International Fountain stage, and we will not be seeing them perform because the whole show has been canceled now. And we have more medical vehicles showing up. Medic 1. And of course there's police here. There's also a trailer over there that might be related to the police department. But we are at the the west side of Seattle Center, next to the Sacred Heart Catholic Church. It is an entrance into the Seattle Center Park area where the music and food festival is happening, the Bite of Seattle, which is very popular. There were thousands of people here. When we showed up a couple hours ago, it was packed with people. I just did a performance earlier down in the South Lake Union part of town, and we came up here to check out some of the bands. There have been a bunch of festivals happening in Seattle over the last few weeks. The West Seattle Summer Festival happened, where we saw Jimmy James and True Love perform. It was an incredible funk band. Yeah, funk is very popular in Seattle. There's a lot of it. And there's also been the Alki Art Fair, which took place on the beach, big sandy beach in West Seattle, which was a lot of fun. A lot of bands played there, including Reposado, which is an amazing Latin funk band that you should all see. We have a guy with an assault weapon here or something. Yeah, this is not looking so good. This is the police, I'm saying. It seemed to be carrying some kind of weapons, and I can't seem to zoom in. But yeah, there's a police officer over there with some kind of rifle. But they're not actually chasing people out of this area at the moment. They're just trying to keep the roadway clear for the emergency vehicles. So people are still leaving the area, and they're bringing in another medic. So that's multiple now. How many have we counted? 2? Maybe at least 2, maybe more. So this is kind of scary. We have no idea what just happened at the Bite of Seattle here in Seattle. I mean, it's kind of freaky. I didn't think that it was gunshots when I heard it. It didn't sound loud enough, but then everybody around us, the crowd started running across the Fischer Pavillion lawn there where the audience was sitting checking out the band. And next thing I know, I was running out with them because it just seemed like the thing to do. I mean, I figured they knew something I didn't. And so we came up here to Sue Bird Street, Seattle Storm Way and Sue Bird Street. They do name streets in Seattle after famous sports stars, including Edgar Martinez and others. He was a Mariners player. So as I was saying, there have been many festivals here in Seattle, and this is just one of them. This is one of the best in terms of the music, because I know last year, I believe it was Eldridge Gravy and the Court Supreme, another really great funk band from Seattle, and some of my friends, they performed here. The Blacktones, I think it was performed. Oh yeah, they did. They performed here last night. We were here last night. I've gone to so many concerts in Seattle over the last couple of weeks. We also had the Seafair Torchlight Parade, which took place downtown on Alaskan Way, right along the waterfront. That had thousands and thousands of participants. So it has been a time of major social gatherings in Seattle. A lot of it surrounding music and art. We also had the World Cup here, of course, which those of you who were following me during the World Cup, I was covering the games here and the reactions among the fans and the protests happening when Egypt and Iran actually filed official complaints with FIFA because Seattle declared the night of their match Pride Night, and so they objected to that. So here's another aid car coming through, trying to leave. We are live at Seattle Center at Seattle Storm and Sue Bird Court North, and about, I don't know, 10-15 minutes ago we were here and watching the band Mid-Pack, and suddenly we heard some sounds, some noises, and then the crowd started running, fleeing in fear, and now there are all sorts of aid cars here. So I cannot verify anything that happened except for that, what I witnessed with my own eyes. And I haven't talked to any police officers or first responders here because they are very busy doing their job, and I'm just trying to keep people abreast of what's happening. We're hearing more sirens in the background. There are already police cars here. There's one fire truck. Several Medic 1 vehicles arrived and left. I did see paramedics working on someone or treating someone who was lying sort of halfway between the Fischer Pavillion stage and the International Fountain. They were on the concrete there. So I don't know. I didn't see who they were treating or what the nature of the injuries might have been. So we do have some firemen over here now who are back at their vehicle. Oh, we have another aid car coming. Oh man, this is not good news. Not good. I mean, how are people going to feel safe going to public events like this if things like this happen? It's just so sad. And Seattle has been so alive with so many great events lately, and the community has been really great about getting together. There hasn't been any major violence or anything during the World Cups and after, so this is so sad to see this. Especially at Bite of Seattle, which is, I mean, a pretty family-friendly event. It's a food event where, you see what the firemen are doing. They're actually getting ready to leave, it looks like. So these were first responders that were here, and now they're getting ready to, I don't know, I guess they're putting their, I'm getting a call. So I guess I'm live. Wow, I didn't know that. I was on a phone call. I didn't think that my phone would keep this going. So I'm trying to go retrieve my backpack, which has like my digital recorder and other media equipment in it, because when I ran from the area along with the rest of the crowd. I did not bring that with me. But the only thing I can really report right now is that the festival has been canceled. People are still here, but it's mostly, I mean, there's nobody here as far as people participating. But I think there were multiple ambulances coming in and out, and that is not a good sign. So that worries me. And I hear more sirens in the background here, so this is not good. I'm sorry that you've had to deal with this. I think what I'll do is I'll go get my backpack, which is really near Seattle Center, retrieve it so that it doesn't get lost in the mix somewhere, and then come back here and try to report a little bit on what's going on this live stream. But we are at Seattle Center right now. There are a lot of police here, a lot of aid cars, and we don't know exactly what happened, but the festival, the Bite of Seattle, was called early. It was the last day of the festival, which was slated to close at 7 o'clock. But this happened right around 6, or shortly after 6 o'clock. There were still 2 more bands that were going to play, or actually 3 more.
You guys can go that way.
And
Or that way.
we were not able to see those bands, including King Youngblood. We were watching Mid-Pack, which was the psychedelic band that was performing on the Fischer Pavillion.
Are you guys able to give like what happened?
The grounds are closed. You gotta exit the grounds this way.
So there's the Space Needle.
Or that way.
We are right here at the Space Needle. And I don't know if you heard what that police officer just said. I don't even know if I want to repeat it because I can't verify it. But he was asked by someone, can you tell us what happened? And normally at a crime scene, they're not going to give you many details, of course, because they don't want certain people, including perpetrators, to know the details of their investigation. But we do have a police officer here who is heavily armed. All right, so yeah. There's still a lot of vendors here because, of course, they've all got booths. But I believe that was some kind of assault weapon there that the police officer was brandishing. And there's the Space Needle. So we're right next to it. So some of the headlines tomorrow probably be like shooting at the Space Needle or something. I don't know. But all I can tell you is what the rumors are right now. I can't verify anything. There doesn't seem to be any panic now. There was for a little while. But people feel safe. So whoever or whatever caused this, it's not causing any chaos at the moment, but it did cause the festival to close like about an hour early. It was last day of a 3-day festival here at Seattle Center. Bite of Seattle. With bands every night and DJs from 11 a.m. in the morning until 8 p.m. at night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it was a huge festival and all free entry. Much like Folklife, there's a Folklife Festival here too. The Northwest Folklife Festival. It's also for 3 days. Includes a lot of bands, film series, and then of course Seattle Center is the location of the Climate Pledge Arena, where a lot of very well-known bands, artists play. So, and sports teams, including the Seattle Storm, the Women's National Basketball Association team. And we went to one of those games a couple of weeks ago. So here's a whole line of police cars that are lined up outside of the I guess this would be the east part of we're here at the Museum of Pop Culture, Mopop, and those are the police cars that are lined up outside of here. There's also where the monorail enters Seattle Center is on that rail, and people are still leaving. They're still flowing out of Seattle Center. I haven't heard any rumors of more violence or any other kind of chaos going on, but I figured it's a good time. You can see that people are still milling around out here. A lot of people are trying to figure out what's going on, and I'm going to try to get across the street here. So my friend should be over here. This is a skate park right across the street from the Seattle Center, and my friend should be here with my backpack somewhere. I said meet me at the skate park, so here we are at the skate park. People are skating, so they don't seem to be that concerned. People feel safe. Yeah, maybe they don't know what just happened across the street, but I'm looking. There he is. There's the guy. Do you mind? Unless you tell me it's okay, I'm not going to put you on the live stream.
Put me on.
So Todd was there with us. Can you tell us a little bit about what you witnessed or experienced when you were here?
I just heard a loud, what I thought was a firecracker, something going off, and then with the reaction, the way people fled the area, seemed like it was way more than, just fireworks. And then I just kind of ducked down. Yeah, that was about it. It was a little freaky, but it wasn't that close, but you could hear it really well. It's like, pop, 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 fast.
It seemed like the first few, nobody recognized as gunshots because nobody reacted, but it kept continuing.
I think you're right.
There were at least 2 different volleys of shots.
Yeah.
There was the first multiple shots, and then there was something after. I'm only saying shots because, like, as a reporter, all I can tell you folks is that I have no information about any kind of injuries. We saw at least 3 ambulances show up, and there's a lot of police there. People say they heard what sounded like gunshots, and we did hear, and I believe it's on this live stream, so we have a record of it. We did hear somebody ask a police officer his name I didn't get. They were just pushing us out at the time, who told the person leaving that there was a mass shooting. That's how he described it. Now, I don't want people to go out there and repeat that because we can't verify it, and it could mean anything. I mean, that's kind of it could be an exaggerated term, so I don't want people to freak out. Right now, people seem to feel safe. People are hanging out here, but there is a whole line of police in the distance down there. Whoops, if I can do this. And they have kicked everybody out of Seattle Center. And since I don't have my press credentials here, it would be difficult for me to get too close, but I did see, I didn't tell you this, Todd, but I did see them working on someone about halfway between the Fischer Pavillion stage and the fountain on that concrete.
You saw what?
The medics were working on someone.
Oh, sure.
And then there were like at least 2 other ambulances that came in after that, so multiple. So that's not good news, folks. And what I was saying is that it really is sad because people were here being perfectly peaceful. It's a great family event. Now there's going to be I know how these kind of things work. There'll be a pall cast upon public festivals in Seattle, and now everybody's going to get checked for guns as we go to these free festivals. So I wish that weren't true. Everybody felt so secure, but after this, of course, a lot of people are not going to go to these kinds of events unless there's some kind of extra security, which means metal detectors so that they can keep guns out. I mean, if that's what it takes, to keep us safe, I guess we'll have to deal with that. We'll have to stand in line, get checked and patted down before we go into events like this. So, is there anything else you have to add? Like, how long do you think it took for you to get out of the area? Where did you go after you left the Fischer
I picked
Pavillion?
up your backpack and then just went to the south and just went away from the obvious issue, gunfire.
And then you were also pushed farther out later by police?
And then went to the Armory, and then I think I called you from the Armory and said, hey, I grabbed your bag, and you said, yeah, try to hang out, because I'm, catching up, trying to catch what's going on. And I'm like, okay, I'll be here. And then they kept pushing anybody that was, where I was standing.
Yeah.
The cops just flooded the area. And I wanted to be a smartass and be like, and they go, you need to leave now. And I'm like, you don't get it. I was right there when the shooting was going on.
Well, if that's what it was,
well, that's what I think it was. And I was trying to tell them, just, chill out. I was right there, and you guys just got here. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but their job is to get everybody out of there.
Yeah.
They called it. They started making announcements on the PAA. First, they just told everyone, festival's over, you must leave the area. And then they had somebody was making some kind of public address announcement on some kind of equipment which just sounded garbled, and I couldn't understand anything they were saying. So that's the way it stands right now, folks. Multiple aid cars. I did witness them working on one person, but there were multiple ambulances coming in and out. And this is at the Bight of Seattle, and people heard what they thought were gunshots, so they evacuated the area. We left with them, and then I stayed to document what's going on, so I'll keep doing that. But I wanted to get over here and get my backpack because my digital recorder and some other media equipment is in there. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate you backing me up like that, because I tried to grab it, and then I thought, if it's between my life and the backpack, I'm going to leave the backpack. At first, I didn't know what was going on, so I kind of tried to lay low and just duck.
Oh, it was freaky. It was freaky.
But when I saw so many people leaving so quickly and, heard women screaming, I just realized, well, it's probably good to leave with them. Sometimes the crowd does know what's going on. And in this case, they probably did. But, yeah, it was very strange. And, I hate to say this, but there was a shooting here at the same area years ago. It's been quite a while, but it was during the Northwest Folklife Festival. And actually they didn't institute metal detectors after that, and there's been no violence since. So the thing is that this is not necessarily the kind of event where you would expect gun violence, because not necessarily a lot of that's just not the vibe. The vibe is like, let's eat some good food and hang out with our families and be
cleared out. I was
enjoy
there
bands.
when I heard what I thought was shooting.
Yeah, so it's really a shame, because it means that people are going to be afraid to go out. Seattle has been so alive lately since the World Cup, with all these big concerts and music festivals, and Bumbershoot is coming up in September, which is one of the biggest. And it's just sad to see, things like this happen at a public event when everybody is having a good time and trying to enjoy themselves. It happened about an hour before the whole festival was slated to end, because it was supposed to stop at...
I was down there.
Actually, the bands were going to stop at 7 o'clock.
When I heard
and
shooting.
The crowd evacuated right after 6 o'clock.
Got the hell out of there. And I did.
You can see people are still leaving the area.
I kind of ducked down.
But I should probably go back there at some point and try to see if I can get any more details. But
it sounded like fireworks.
This is what's going on, folks.
Like a heavy-duty, fireworks. And then
this is Mark Taylor-Canfield reporting live
from that, really,
from Seattle.
And then the area, people just cleared out. They were right in front of me. Everybody was just getting the hell out of there. And then next thing I know, there were cops running around with guns. Like, she was going